Couple technical difficulties. I've recently restarted my laptop. A couple things aren't where they need to be, but however, we're gonna keep this show rolling. I'm a little sad that my background noise not back there keeping me tempo. However, I guess I gotta find the same sound so to be incoherent with everything else that I have. And we're gonna run through all that. Honestly, I feel like there's something to talk about, and there's something that I can either talk about or just give what I did to make it happen. However, I'm Eli, and we are back. The Marfan homie is back. I'm here to give y'all another episode. We're in my school day series. A lot has happened since. However, I'm in my school day series, and we're on college right now. But before we get into all of that, man, how are y'all, man? I hope everybody is doing well. As you can see, a little itchy. But I think everything is going well, going the way that it needs to be. As you can see, I'm just checking to see if my stuff is recording, and I really hope it is. But nah, man, we're gonna keep going and we're gonna run through it. And then I'm trying to hold a lot of different things today. Recording with the back camera on my phone. Saw that on TikTok. Got the microphone set up. Like I said, I restarted my laptop. I needed more space, and I was like, I can't afford a new Mac right now, so I'm gonna do what I need to do. Restart my laptop, restore it, and then we're here right now doing the thing. So let's do a recap. So what's happened since? What's happened since? So I think the last week's episode, my girlfriend's niece was in town. She left on Sunday morning. Here. There was a all on this thing, but I guess there isn't. But left on Sunday. What else has happened since? What else has happened since? Dang. Oh, I started my laptop over. GarageBand took a while to load up. What else has happened since? I've eaten salads for the past 2 weeks. Planning for a trip. So I'm trying to get my body right before I go on this trip. So that's always a good thing. So that's cool. As I'm checking something on my watch, I just want to see if I can get out this screen and my phone will keep recording. But yeah. So why did it zoom in? Uh-oh. Hold on. 1 second, y'all. Oh, I'm gonna have to edit that out. So, what else has been going on? I've been working on the YouTube channel. So, if you're hearing this episode, by the time you actually hear this episode, all the episodes up to this episode should have been loaded up to YouTube. So, again, we're working on that. One man team over here. So yeah, we're working on that. It's been a process. Like I said, I had to restart my laptop. It's been working a little bit faster, trying to get the 4K video of the video, the 4K version of the video uploaded onto YouTube, so it doesn't look all grainy. Like I don't know what I'm doing, which I really don't, but I'm still doing it. So that's what counts, right? And the other thing is, since this video, I've decided to try and delete the word "try" out my vocabulary. So it gets more personal to do and will not, do and don't, instead of just saying I'll try to and just leave somebody cliffhanging and stuff like that. So I don't wanna try anymore. I wanna do or not do. That's it. It's black and white. Trying to leave less room for gray areas, if you get what I'm saying. What else has happened since? That's all I can think of. How's the month going? So again, April. We're in April 4th. This is the quarter two. So quarter two goals. I wrote up my goals of the day. Another thing that I'm trying to do amongst the 10 pull-ups that I try to do to help gain some muscle and some strength in my arms. Being again that with this Marfan thing, it's hard to keep on weight and hard to keep on muscle mass. I've also added to that and added to where I would like to. Now I am adding 30 sit-ups per day for the next 90 days, or for the next quarter. I will admit that I probably won't hit all of them. However, I will do the ones on the days that I can. And if I don't feel like doing it one day, I'm just not going to do it. I know like towards the end of the last quarter, I was slacking with the 10 pull-ups per day. However, if we were to do like a calculation of how many pull-ups that I actually did over the 10 quarter, over the quarter, it'd probably be like a lot. So it's been good. I did them in sets of 5 just to not tire out, but I noticed that the sets of 5 weren't getting me to where I wanted to be as far as like my strength goes, and as far as like my stamina and how much I can, again, pulling with these skinny arms and pulling 200 and whatever amount of pounds, it's not easy. Pulling that much weight is not easy. So I'm just trying to get where I need to be. What else? What else do we have? Yeah. So trying to do sets of 10 now. So if I could do 20 in one day, 2 sets of 10, that'll be a good day. We'll see about them pull-ups. Them sit-ups. But it's been all good. It's been good. How's the month going? So I've been started my new goals, wrote down my new goals, started my new goals. Talked to a therapist today, but it's not more mental health, it's more like a physical health. But just talked about wanting what it is that I want. So again, one thing that I do want is that I do want a physically able body. So again, doing one set of 5 versus one set of 10. That's one thing that I'm going to strive to do. Get the quickness in which I do them back to where I used to be. But I used to be able to do them a lot quicker. I just feel like I've gotten a lot weaker since that time. So I don't want to be like that necessarily be like that anymore. And again, my 30 setups again, I feel like I used to have a good core, or at least the core that my body would allow. And so now that I'm not there anymore, or I had so many surgeries that involved and open my core and moving tissue and muscle around, I'm trying to just build that back up. And that's a part of another reason why I've been eating so much green leaf and getting my protein supplement from. Again, I still put like chicken in there. And this is a whole other episode of like my diet and where I've been as far as like when I started taking it seriously. So stay tuned for that episode as well. And again, a lot of people do come to me and ask me, like, for Marfan, you seem pretty built, pretty well done. What do you do? Again, that episode is coming. I've told them what I've done, but again, for the people that haven't actually still want to know, or whatever else the case may be, it's coming. How's work going? Work is going okay. Trying to make that go work. But work has been going good. I did say that I wanted to start sort of like a program, not a program, but let's tighten this up. Not a program, but a certification. So one thing that happened in the past couple of weeks is I didn't necessarily get certification, but what I did get to start was, or what I did get nominated for was basically like a program to basically help development, like career development and stuff like that. So I got approved for that and accepted into that. So this is one step closer to something that I've been wanting and doing. And again, it's just living, trying to live it within the workspace and whatever else. Bam. So let's get to the meat. If I remember anything, I'll tell it to you guys. And if you're looking at me in camera, yep, I'm trying to fix the mic, figure out what's going on with it. I knew that I'd keep that on this arm, but however, we're gonna make it work for today, and I'll figure it out later. The meat. So this is my school day series. We're on college, and I didn't go to grad school, so this is where this series has ended. If you did not catch the rest of the episodes, go back on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and now YouTube. Because again, by the time you hear this episode, all the YouTube videos, the episodes should be on YouTube. The video recording of those episodes. They might be a little rough, might be a lot that probably needed to be editing. I'm not the best editor, however, We're starting. We're gonna finish. We're gonna start strong and we're gonna finish strong. So that's all that is for that. Um. So, but we're on college. So the first question is. The first question is, did high school prepare me for college? So there's a couple different ways to answer that, right? So like I said, in high school, I wore jackets every day. For 4 full years straight, I wore jackets every day. In college, I found it to be a new place to where I could, to where I want to check this video, but I don't want to mess it up. If it messes up, oh well. However, for college, I I tried to start fresh, not wearing jackets every day. No one no one knows me. No one knows my name. Like an anti-cheers thing. And it's just again new fresh faces. Hopefully these faces are a little bit more mature. Blah blah blah. Slowly I realized it wasn't like that. Um, so basically, again, I had to do what worked for me. When it got cold, that was the best season. I get to wear jackets, hide myself, this, that, and the third. I did make friends. However, I still hid myself from those people. So in a sense, physically, it prepared me for college because I knew how to cope and hide. Mentally, I would say it did. Because I was ready. I was basically like ready for war, ready for anything that would come my way. But then I slowly realized not too many people were looking at me like how I thought they would be. Like then, like say in high school, the population is just like, Let's just say like the population of my senior class in high school was 100 people. The population of my freshman class for college was probably over 800,000 people. I'm 1 out of 100 out of 1 of 1,000. You have to stare pretty or look pretty hard. So in a sense, I was prepared. As far as Marfan syndrome goes, and just being prepared for like what's not gonna hit, what's gonna happen, I was prepared. Yeah, I was prepared. I would say that I was. Strikingly, that answer was no. I wasn't. My first thought on that answer was no because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't. College looked a little differently for me compared to like my brothers and my sisters because again they look more on my brother who has more friends that went to another college that wasn't HBCU. It was just all different. It was just a different environment, a different person, a different case of Marfans. You didn't wear glasses. You didn't have a chest that pokes out. You didn't have neglected feet. You didn't have a hand that barely works. Like you had things that were going for you, and you went to a PWI to where it's just like you fit in. I went to HBCU with a lot more different colored faces, and it's just like you didn't necessarily you stood out. However, I tried my best to fit in, and I think that's what honestly worked for me. My next line was trying to be fit in and be normal. Trying to fit in and be normal, and it was just like again. I remember one time, one girl asked me, she stopped me in front of everybody during college, and she was like, "Why you walking like you gotta pee?" And I'm just like, heard that one before. Ouch. Again, I handled it well. As just I didn't think we were gonna be cool after that. And now if I bring that comment up, she probably gonna deny she ever even said it. But we were pretty cordial at this point. And again, me walking like I had to pee, it was me walking normal, or just me walking the way I knew how to walk. And I never saw anything wrong with the way I was walking. Again, it was just something that came normal to me, just because I don't walk like everybody else, or I walk with a bow leg, pigeon toed, something like any other type of walk. I just feel like that was weird. But again, if you look at my physiology or my physiology is just like the way I'm built. Again, ankles touching the ground. Now my feet are enclaved in. What's the other word when your knock knee type of thing? It just looked weird. So again, the question of why you walking like you got to pee, which I didn't. That's just how I normally walk. Got axed, and again, like I said, I dealt with it the way I knew how to deal with it. What's the next thing? Making friends. So I would say, was it hard? I wouldn't say it was as hard as like high school. However, it was weird because it wasn't so hard. Or just like having people that that want to hang out with you. Because again, when you go to college, you're basically living there. You don't go home, go back in school, go home, back in school unless you choose to or unless you're that close. I wasn't that close. I was an hour and 45 minutes away from home. That was my living arrangement. I lived at college. I had to be brothers and sisters and friends with these people. Because again, now we're sharing bathrooms, this, that, and the third, sharing rooms. It was weird to say like, "Hey Elijah, what you doing? Let's go do this." Was weird. Or like I would approach somebody else like, "Hey, what you doing? Let's go eat." Was weird. And for them to, it was weird because for someone not to look at me like something was wrong was weird for me. I'm used to everyone looking at me like something was wrong. And it was a weird thing. But as I got older, or not even as I got older, during college, I would like hear like, "Oh, why she always wear a jacket?" or certain things, and I'm just like, "Oh man, you noticed that." But again, it's the people that, I guess the people now, it's the people that want to be friends with you that notice things about you, rather than in high school, it was the people that didn't want anything to do with you that noticed things about you, and again, put you out on Front Street and just make it seem like you weren't the best person. However, this time around, it was different because the people that hung around you wanted to know about you. And I still wasn't comfortable with letting people know certain things about me. So again, I would sit there and hide them. To wrap that up, because it's so much, and I feel like this is the space to talk about it. It's just, I'll say this, before I started this podcast to furthermore announce who I am and what I deal with on the day-to-day basis, one day after college, long time after college, my friends came to Texas to visit me, and I took off my shirt and I was like, "Hey, this is me. This might sound weird, however, this is what happened." And what they said was, "How come you never told us?" And I don't even think I had an answer back then. However, I have an answer now. It's just I didn't think you guys would understand. And from that day, I felt more comfortable about what was going on. I felt a little bit more comfortable about what was going on with me and around my friends, because they knew, and they would ask, "What's going on? How you doing? How's your body feel?" And now at the same time, I was going through ankle surgeries and stuff like that. But it did feel like a burden was lifted. You never just share something and you're like, "Whew, world is off my shoulders." That's what that felt like at that time. So that was, again, it was a little weird. But making friends, I mean, again, in an environment like college, and I would say that people aren't naive. They do notice things about you. However, the friends that you tend to make in college do not necessarily care. And it took me a hard time to realize that. Like, again, for the people that I call friends, they would ask or observe, but they never made a fuss about it. They never made a big deal about it. They always would say, again, "Oh, I got to change that too. Elijah is Elijah." And again, looking at Elijah, this is what Elijah comes with. Looking at so-and-so, this is what so-and-so comes with. Again, I'm the odd person out the, well, I label myself the odd person out the group. However, I think all of us probably had something at that time, especially at that time being in college, had something that we were insecure about. And I think that was another thing that helped me find the friends that I do have now. We just had things that we were either insecure about or just trying to find our way about. And again, I think those are the people that I'm happy that I had in my corner and still have in my corner. And it's been a great road with you guys. What else can I say? Making friends was easier because we were getting older. We weren't stuck in high school. We weren't, again, at that point in college, like, it was a whole different disciplinary action. You get to fight and you get kicked out, like that. And then third, like I said, in high school, like, I get to fight. If I fight you, it's okay. It's not okay. It's just whatever. However, in college, if you get caught fighting, because there was fighting on campus, if you get caught fighting, there's disciplinary actions that go along with it. Bam, bam, bam. So it was more mellow. It was a more mellow tone or more mellow vibe to making friends than it was in high school. And again, one thing that my brother told me going into college was saying that normally the people that you make friends with in college are the ones that you're gonna have throughout your lifetime. Those are the ones that your kids are gonna be like, oh, that's my aunt and uncle. Again, like the non-blood relation type people that are gonna ultimately become your family. And I think that at the end of the day, though a lot of those friends have become my family, and I think that's why it was even me knowing that and just like growing up, like being around those people, we grew to be a family, and that's what made me feel more accepted about the stuff that I had going on. Yeah, I would still try to hide stuff from them. However, we worked it out as a family. Like, hey, Elijah, what you doing? Hey, blah blah blah, what you doing? And then it just worked, man. So again, making friends became easier because I think that making friends became easier because we were all getting older and we all started to care less about the things that I guess didn't affect us personally. As long as we could exchange notes and study with each other, that's all that really mattered, right? Yeah, I think that's one thing that if you're dealing with something that you should probably keep in mind is that, again, normally, and there's like a stage where you're just getting older and just it doesn't care, and there are going to be people there that honestly care for you in ways that you didn't think that someone outside of your family could care for you. Damn, I like the way I put that. The first week to the first month. Oh, bam. Now this is some meat. So again, I'm talking about just like being vulnerable, being out there. So let me tell you about the first week at this great university, Tuskegee University, one of the best universities, HBCUs, and overall universities out there. The first week I was there, we didn't have shower curtains for the bathroom, for the shower. I bought a shower curtain from Walmart before my family left. But again, I've never been in a situation to where, again, I didn't play sports. So it's like being in the locker room with a group of people. I don't normally know what's going on in the locker room because I never had that experience. However, just being, let's say, halfway decent in the locker room, I never experienced that. So like me being comfortable with just bathing out in the open like that, some people did it. You would go inside the shower or in the bathroom some days and dude is there bathing, no shower curtain, no drawers, no nothing. I remember the first day I took a shower at Tuskegee University with the shower curtain that I bought. I put it up, made sure it stayed, and I left my drawers on just in case the shower curtain fell. So I left my drawers on, took a shower with my drawers on, and this is probably TMI, but however, this is the things that I did to, because I didn't know what to do. I took a shower with my drawers on. I dried. I did a lot to mask myself. I put on a t-shirt after drying my body off, like in the shower. Basically, I got dressed in the shower every day. Every day that I went to Tuskegee, I got dressed in the shower. I put on socks. I put on a t-shirt. The only thing I did not put on was my underwear because, of course, I didn't need to. I would put the towel over my area and then walk to my room with Crocs on. I bathed in Crocs. The one day that I decided to bathe in some like shower shoes, got too much attention. Everybody started looking at me. No, I take that back. I take that back. I used to shower more in I had shower sandals that I had, and I wore those. I mean, again, I made it to my room. Nobody saw me. That was a good shower day. Again, I think that I was very much in just how that went, and that thought process was I was very much embarrassed by my body. Again, it didn't look like everyone else's. I had a chest that protrudes. My toes weren't the best, and at that point, that was the only thing that mattered because again, we're in the male dorms, and I'm taking a shower. Yeah, and then of course after they got the shower curtain situation fixed out, I took showers naked, knowing that the other showers weren't gonna come. Shower curtain wasn't gonna come down. However, I just wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to go through being talked about if I was ever seen, if my feet were ever seen, if my chest was ever seen. And I did a whole 4 years of school like that, to where I didn't want to be talked about, and I hid in any way that I possibly could. It worked for me. Don't get me wrong, it worked. It just took so much time and effort that I could have put into something else, I could have put that into going to bed sooner, being ready sooner, just a whole bunch of time. Like if I would calculate the minutes that I took just to prepare to go to the shower and just like prepare to get out the shower, I would have saved so much time in my life, honestly. But like I said, the shower sandals were definitely a thing. I think one other thing that I started to do, if it was like late at night and I would like time what time it was, and just like gauge the hallway just to see how loud it was, I would wear my Crocs or a pair of Crocs that I had to the shower without socks, and of course bathe in the Crocs, blah blah blah. But again, as you can see, like if you run hot water on those things, they start discoloring and whatever. I did a lot of things to hide what was going on with me. And I think my reflection there would be, or my reflection, I can't say that would be my reflection. My question that we could come together is to answer, it would be, would you rather spend more time hiding or more time making friends and being comfortable? Because eventually people are going to have to be comfortable with you and what you have going on. If they call yourself your friends, they're going to have to be comfortable with what you have going on, and vice versa. You have to be comfortable with what they have going on, especially if you guys running in the same circle, in the same whatever. So I would honestly like to think that I'd spend less time hiding and just more time being myself. However, I would think that I'd be more talked about and have less friends, and that's just a horrible place or a horrible way to think. I think that's where it would be. I don't want it to be that way. I just think that's where it would be, because again, as much, and again, it's like what your parents say, they just don't accept you because they don't know you. I don't think it's that simple. I think it's people have a hard time accepting what they don't know, or they know nothing about it. So again, if I step out the shower with I'll just say with my ugly feet and my chest and just whatever, I'm gonna be more talked about and lose people And again, and that's the other thing. Well, if they talk about you, then fuck them. And it's just like, it's just not that. It's not that easy, considering that you don't want to be alone. And again, last thing I wanted to be was alone on campus, or again, just word reaching out that so and so is like this. So I disguised myself very well. I hid very well. And honestly, I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. And I've seen other people on campus that had deformities and stuff like that and lived their life just as loud as they can live it. And I've seen other people that are older than me on other college campuses live their life with deformities and be just again open as they wanted to be with it. And I just could not get out of my head onto why I'm being so silent with mine. And it's maybe because I've been silent all my life. And to be truthfully honest, I never really had anybody to encourage me to be seen. Again, I wore shorts around my dad one day. He said, "Don't wear long shorts." I talked to my brother. He never told me, like, you need to hide your chest. However, he told me ways to hide it rather than him saying, man, they gonna love me with this. Again, but he didn't have anyone telling him how to live with what he was going on in his. And again, I'm the only person in my family with feet like mine, so it's just like no one out there could tell me how to live my life with what's going on here. No one could tell me how to live my life knowing that my feet are hurting 24/7. My toes are ugly 24/7. The doctor cannot correct my feet and make them flat, like my toes, and make them flat. So that's why I'm having a trouble with it now, because my feet will never be considered to be normal, and I will never be comfortable walking around. And it's not necessarily aesthetically comfortable to other people, physically comfortable to myself, because I'm walking on literally the ball of my foot. So it's hard to think that someone else is going to accept what's going on with me when I can't even accept it myself, or the doctors are telling me, oh, we will never be able to get this. And again, that's why I think that at this point in my life, I will be going to get a second opinion just to see if I can get my toes straightened out without the chance of anything going wrong. Got a little personal there. However, I think that's what it was during college. It was just hard to accept that this could be accepted when I haven't accepted it myself, and I still haven't. I've accepted it on different levels. I haven't accepted everything that's going on with me entirely. I've just accepted it at different levels, and I think that right now that is good for me. Right now, accepting it on different levels is good for me, and I would tell anybody else that if you realize you have something going on with you, accept it in the levels and at the pace that does make you comfortable. Not necessarily what makes your friends comfortable, what makes you comfortable. Accept it and do it at the pace that makes you comfortable. Again, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of this was like rushed, or not necessarily rushed, but like not even forced, but it was a happy force. It was a force that needed to happen. And again, shout out to that. It was a force that needed to happen. However, I think at that point of it even happening, because it didn't have to, but at that point of it even happening, I was ready. I was grown. I was ready. In college, I wasn't necessarily ready. So yeah, man, let's keep going. So the first week to the first month of school, like I said, no shower curtain, taking showers in my boxers, putting socks on right after I took a shower, all the no-nos of taking a shower were all the things that I honestly did. What's another thing that I have written down here? So I also have Marfans with the campus like Tuskegee. So I think that more tended to more was revolved around walking. Like again, toes, ball of the foot. They didn't have my ankle corrective help procedure yet. So every so often, my feet would just hurt. And I think I said this in one of my other videos about when I had my toe surgery is that I would use a straight like eyebrow razor to cut the calluses off my feet. And then of course if I go too deep, I end up cutting the skin and I have to wait like a week for that to heal. Now imagine walking on that. And one day I came back to my room and my foot like bled out. Like I just had blood stains on my sock. People wouldn't, but again, I'm putting it on my podcast. However, if I would have told people this, they would have never believed me. So one thing that I pay tribute to is to when I got my first pet egg. I got a pet egg and I never looked back. I will never touch my foot with a straight razor again. Well, with the eyebrow razor again. I got that pet egg. That was the softest thing. I do it every 2 weeks to this day. To this day. I shave, like I said, I shave my feet every 2 weeks with that pet egg. But like walking on that campus, and again, I don't know if you guys who has been to Tuskegee University and to the campus, it has hills, it has rocks in the pavement, off the pavement, valleys. Again, you got the valley, you got the University Ave, you got just walking up hills to get up to the main campus. Freshman year was a struggle. That's why sophomore year when I got my sister's car, man, that was great. However, it was a struggle, man. Like I said, I would cut my feet, I would walk, I would limp, and then again, like I had classes to go to. Now imagine walking, like it takes 15 minutes to walk across campus and you only got 10, and you walking on a bad foot. So it's just like I had to make things shake and make things work. And it was crazy how I was basically like sprint limping across campus. Luckily, I met somebody with a car. We had some similar classes going to and from. So I was able to get a ride with them, especially on the days that my foot hurt. It was a blessing, I promise. And again, shout out to you. You are a blessing and you didn't even know it. But yeah, man. And then I would say like the other condition of like Tuskegee's campus was definitely like after my first heart surgery back in high school, well that was the only heart surgery that I had going into college, was that I would get hot easily. And not anything, I was wearing these baggy ass t-shirts, but I would get hot easily. So again, now my heart starts pumping, I start sweating, and that time I didn't get to have a control on like my blurry visionness. So I would get blurry vision, like a heat stroke. Honestly, I was gonna have like a heat stroke more than less, and I have more of a control on it now as I graduated college, because I put myself in less stressful situations, and I have a car. I would pray to never go carless again. However, I put myself in less stressful situations to not get the heat stroke, not get the bad vision, not get the sweatiness and stuff like that, not get nosebleeds. Luckily, they're in college, which surprised me. I probably say I had one thing I didn't talk about in this podcast is how I used to have nosebleeds in elementary school, like no one's business. Like one day I think I lost like a gallon of blood. The paramedics had to come into the elementary school and everything. It was a lot, and the blood was like clotting. It was just oozing out. Oozing plots. But in college, I think I probably had like one to two nosebleeds per year, and that included summer vacation and everything. So again, but I think that was just with me getting older and eating and drinking better things for my body overall. What about the Tuskegee campus? That was about it as far as like physicality goes. It's just like my feet were hurting, heat stroke, heart. Again, it was a lot to walk. I'm happy in a way that I'm happy I didn't come in there freshman year with a car. I just wish it would have been a little different if I got on like second semester or something like that. But I'm happy it happened that way because again, I think that also prepped my body to where, oh, we got to get used to this. This is going to be an everyday thing. You know, that's what they say. You have to prep your body for the things that it's going to be going through and stuff like that. So that was definitely one thing. My first relationship and how that gave me the boost of confidence I needed. Okay, so let's talk about that. So, first relationship in college, the girl did not go to the school that I attended. However, she was in college as well. In fact, they were actually in a foreign exchange program in India when we started talking, and then they moved back to Atlanta. Uh, to They moved back to Atlanta to pursue their degree at a closer university because before they went to university out of state. Blah blah blah. Um, but for that first relationship, and for that to go the way that it did, my confidence was boosted, and I think that was a confidence booster that I needed. Um, During that time, again, I wasn't. Well, to say I wasn't sure on myself would sound wrong. I wasn't sure on how my life with Marf fans would go up until that day, and that day was a joyous day for many reasons. Because, of course, again, I had my first girlfriend, um, first relationship, first girlfriend, um, and then again, it was just like a point of acceptance, right? And the conversations that we would have about the Marv fans and just like how noticeable things actually were. I would like to think that I hit things pretty well. And she told me like, no, you did. We again, you're not the 99% of the people that were walking around the high school. You did not look like them. Your limbs, the way that you walk, your head, like everything about my physical being, about my physical body, about what the time she's speaking to me about your physical body did not scream normal. It screamed that okay, Elijah has something going on. We just don't know what it is. He's probably not going to tell us. Whatever else the case may be, okay. And I felt like that she was a subset of people that actually like were thought that way. And even then, I honestly don't think that again, her or the group of people that she hung around would have dated would dated me in high school. However, again, as you go to college, your mindset starts to change, and again, it's not about who's being popular. It's about maturity, this, that, and the third, and of course, me having Marfans and me not blending in with everybody. My maturity, my mindset definitely was surpassed that of a person that whatever else. Um, but no, again, like I said, the confidence that I got from that was I felt more comfortable in my body. I felt more comfortable in my skin. I felt more comfortable conversing with other women. Honestly, I felt more comfortable conversing with my not even hanging out with my friends. Let's just say hanging out with my friends, conversing with other women, um, and just being me rather than like before that day had happened. And again, it is what it is. That goes to like the whole people serve a purpose in your life, blah blah blah. However, that purpose or what happened there was I became more confident. I walked with my head up that much higher. I walked with my head out, with my chest poking out that much more, quote unquote. Um, so no, that definitely helped. So yeah, I mean, again, like you see it everywhere. You see it on movies. It's like you get a little peppy and stuff when someone's interested into you, or when someone takes a liking to you. So again, I I look at that point in my life and just say how much I was appreciative of that that moment and that person. And I honestly can't forget that because that got me to even to where I'm at now. But the amount of the confidence and the amount of esteem or self-esteem that I have gained or acquired or over the time, or whatever word you want to use, over the time. And I think that's important to you need again. And I think overall, again, whether it's friends, relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, you need those people in your life to help you realize who you are. People say that they could do it alone. You can't do it alone. And again, especially now with a person that has something that they think genetically is working against them, you have to have people in your life or in your corner just to help you realize. They don't necessarily have to tell you, but I think being around them just makes you more comfortable, and you start to realize that I can be around people and feel comfortable. I can be around people with my shirt off. I can be around people in shorts. I can eventually be around people with my socks off. Like that type of thing. You're gonna need people in your life to reassure you of that. And I think that's okay. So the last thing on here is finding what worked for me and becoming what is now growth. Baby steps. Gotta take baby steps. If you've never seen Barbershop 2, that's when Cedric in his hand said baby steps. Gotta take baby steps. So I honestly I used that saying so much honestly through my life that I took baby steps to get where the comfortability that I'm at now. I took baby steps. I took baby steps to feel how good I am feeling now. And it worked, and it's crazy. So what I say to people with Marfan, people with similar diagnosis, and people with all other diagnoses, take baby steps. Don't be afraid to take a leap every once in a while. But there's nothing wrong with taking baby steps. Again, freshman year, I was taking showers in my boxers. Sophomore year, I was taking showers in Crocs, but I would walk to the bathroom without socks on. That was a big step for me. It took a level of time to get that comfortable and that fast to do shit like that. Junior year, and again, sophomore year got into a relationship. Junior year, I noticed how the confidence that I had, that people, and again, women in particularly, but people were were gravitating towards me. And it felt good. I never had this feeling before. So to know how to use and handle this feeling was a thing for me. Senior year, I found a group of people to roommate with. Chatham, Sion, and Doug. Those were my roommates. Two of them are getting married, and I'm invited to their wedding this summer. Doug, my best friend, is again. They're all my brothers. Don't get me wrong. They're all my brothers. They're all my roommates. And again, we came to a place where we're gonna do this. I came to a place where it's like, yo, I have people that are gonna be there with me. They're gonna see parts of me that I've never been comfortable exposing to anybody else. And even then, like, don't let me leave out again all the other roommates that I've had. Junior year, my homeboy Ezra. Sophomore year, my homeboy Big T. Like, those are people that made it easier. Again, every year was a different level of how comfortable and how much I was willing to show. That's just what it was. I had to learn how to do certain things and learn how to be a certain way. And I'm happy for the growth that I can announce that I have made this very day. And again, for people like us, we're going to need other people. We're going to need other people to help us. It's not necessarily like put us up on a pedestal, whatever that I guess is supposed to mean. However, again, making us like the top priority, no. We're going to need people in our life to help us work on what we're trying to work on and get through what we're trying to get through. And I think every person that I met from my freshman year to my senior year to my life after college has definitely helped with that. And I salute y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you ever came across me, I am talking about you. If you ever came across me and made a positive a positive or left like like just basically we had positive feedback with each other. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, but like you left that with me. I'm talking about you, so I hope this podcast reaches you and you hear this and you just honestly say you're welcome because I'm thanking you. So, like, I thank you. So yeah, find out what worked for me and becoming what is now growth. Take my baby steps. So I took my baby steps. Took a couple leaps every now and then. Took a leap when I posted the photos on Instagram. Took a leap doing this podcast. Took a leap, and whatever else. But again, overall baby steps. It took baby steps for me to get comfortable to do stuff like that. And again, don't let anybody tell you just gotta go out there and do it. No, take baby steps. But again, everybody moves at their own pace. Everybody. I move at my own pace. So take the baby steps. Sometimes it's fuck it, let's do it. However, by the time you've gotten to that fuck it, let's do it, you're going to realize how many baby steps you've actually taken just to get to that point. So you can move on to the next baby step. It's crazy. You take baby steps, say fuck it, let's do it, make a big ass leap, and then you move on to the next baby step to prepare you for the next big thing that's coming along, or for the next big reveal that's coming along to you. And I think that's just honestly what it is. So words of advice. All right, that means we're winding down, people. So I hope you've enjoyed that, honestly. However, the words of advice I have for you today. Let me print this up. Paper. Words of advice. Use college as a time to start, all caps, to begin to find out what works for you and what doesn't. And again, I think that's what I did in college. However, I'll read it again before I go on. Use words of advice again. Use college as a time to start to begin to find out what works for you and what doesn't. I found that Crocs worked for me in college. I found that out. I found that baggy t-shirts are no longer gonna cut it. Literally, they were like, I got it from my older brother. Don't judge me, don't judge him. I think he still does it. I'm trying to get him to do something different. We're working on it. And that was a tribute to the heat strokes that I was going through during the summertime in that campus. But no, just definitely use that time to start. Because again, I found people that I was comfortable around. I found people that I could let my hair down with. I found people that I could comfortably get drunk around, because that's what college is. Another 10 pillar of college is that's one of the 10, right? You get drunk with people that you call your family and friends. I found people that, like I said, I could let my hair down with. I found people that I could talk to. I found people that I could, again, we were colleagues even then. We were colleagues trying to accomplish the same goal. I found people that I could work with, and just like it was crazy. So on top of that, find people that you can do those type of things with and feel normal and feel good about doing it with them. Feel like a family presence is around you 24/7. Again, it's college. You're away from your blood family. Now you got to make family with these people that you're going to see every day for the next 3 months break, then next 4 months and break, whatever the case may be. Find those people that start to feel like family or that remind you of your family, honestly. And I think that's another aspect or another thing that you can look at it that'll help you cope with what's going on with you. Find people that remind you of the family that you have at home. Find the person that reminds you of your mother and your father, your brother and your sister, and probably a cousin or whatever the case may be, or even a family friend. Like, dang, you remind me of our family friend David, like something like that. Find those people, and I think that's what's basically going to make you feel like you're doing it, like you're doing something you're supposed to do. So yeah, man. So find. Let me read it again. Use college as a time to start to begin to find out what works for you and what doesn't, and find people that remind you of the people that you have back at home. And even if you don't live too far from campus, that people that remind you who are back at home but just like again, that stay on campus with you. You get what I'm saying? Conclusion. So let's see. College would have been a little bit more successful if I would have lived a little bit more. And with that being said, don't be afraid to live. And that I still stand by that, by saying again, you got to take your baby steps to take the big leap, and take more baby steps to take another big leap. However, you're gonna have to live. You're gonna have to become comfortable with living. And again, that whole become comfortable with being uncomfortable, and it is what it is. It is a saying. However, you have to become. You have to. It's all a thought process. You have to start to think to become comfortable around these people, around yourself. I was comfortable with myself. I knew what I needed to do. Now I needed to introduce people to my level of comfort, and they again vice versa. Because again, those are relationships that you're forming as well. So if I would have lived a little bit more, if I would have been like again if I would have let my hair down a little bit more, I would have been a little bit more successful. And when I say successful in college, I mean more of the social aspect. That's another pillar of college, is just again go there to meet people, make connections, and just like overall be social or learn about being social, your social interactions. That would have definitely been a thing. So if I would have let my hair down, I would have been more successful about just being more social. But I think for the most part, I did. Everything happened the way it needed to happen. I do wish it would have happened a little bit different and a little bit sooner sometimes. So I'm saying that to say what I've said on this paper is that don't be afraid to live a little bit more. And if there's anything that you get from this podcast, is get that, or you should get that. I'm telling you, to a person that didn't think like, or did think it would be hard, I'm here to tell you it's not that hard. It wasn't that hard. You just have to let go of that fear a little bit, and you do have to let your hair down a little bit. Again, it's all in baby steps. It's all in how comfortable you feel. I'm just letting you know that the sooner you feel comfortable, the better. That's all. So yeah, let's go past that. So shout out to Tuskegee University. I love y'all. Shout out to Shayla, Ariel, Doug, Jewel, Ezra, Chat, Sion. Shout out to, I didn't even say shout out to and back in the high school podcast. Shout out to my bus driver. Now I'm gonna feel bad because I left people up, but I think those are the people that like I said, that we formed a bond. That is what it is. Again, with those people, again, shout out to everybody else that I met there. Shout out to all my TAs, it's like people I was able to let my hair down with and turn up with and stuff like that. Y'all were excellent as well. However, I think at that point, before I even made like a public service announcement on Instagram, or whether it's Instagram or this podcast, the people that I did name or people that I did quote unquote share with first, because again, that's where my comfort level was at one point in time, and now my comfort level is on a whole different level, and it is what it is. But again, shout out to everybody that I came across, and again, whether or not that you do know, some of y'all did have a positive or a realizing impact on the decision making that I had to do what I'm doing now, to do what I did, and to do what I plan on doing in the future. So again, everybody that I met, whether you got named or not, did play a vital part. and what's going on. So yes, how to reach me: Instagram, Facebook, this, that, and the third. I'm available. My email, you can still email me. I'm available on a lot of platforms, on all the platforms. The Marfan homie on all platforms. Public Enemy 1___ on all platforms. That's my personal and the Marfan homie. Again, reach out to me. Come and talk to me. And so I can tell that the season is winding down. The season is winding down. However, if you would like to podcast with me and featured on the next season of podcasts that I have going on, reach out to me. We can talk through stuff together, and just like, again, we can let another voice be heard on this platform that I have now created, and will continue to expand and broaden to reach more people. So yeah, reach out to me, and again, you know how everything will be in the descriptions of all the podcasts and the videos, whether it's YouTube or the 2 podcasting outlets that I am on, which is Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe, like I said, subscribe to all of them. You'll know when the latest stuff is coming out, when I finally decide to do this giveaway, and whatever else the case may be. But yeah, man, this was a good episode, I believe. Let me know what you think. I'll have a poll on Spotify. Leave a comment on Apple Podcasts. And definitely leave a review, rating, whatever needs to be left, so I can know how I'm doing, so I could either change it up or do what I need to do to braille you back in. However, man, with all that being said, I love y'all. I love everybody that I have come across. Positive or negative impact, you did something that made me think. So I appreciate y'all and all and everything. So with all that being said, it is the Marfan homie, and I am signing out.